Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today we are finishing off what we have of the Wizarding Universe. This is including every Harry Potter movie and then of course the Fantastic Beasts movies that are currently out. There are 3 more unfortunately planned. And I'm convinced I'll be 30 by the time the last one comes out. It's ridiculous. They've been through so many pauses and breaks and it's getting old. But today, we're going to be talking about Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald was released in 2018. It was written by J.K. Rowling and directed by David Yates. And no spoilers, of course. I don't do spoilers here on the channel, so make sure you drop a subscribe for that. And essentially the idea of the film is we pick up where we left off. It's a little bit afterwards. I forget how long it was. Maybe like a few months afterwards, after the first Fantastic Beasts, where to find the movie. And essentially, Dumbledore, a younger Albus Dumbledore, of course, played by Jude Law, comes by and tells Newt, hey, I need you to go fight Grindelwald because I'm not allowed to because I made a blood pact. And Newt's like, okay, and then he does, which breaks his travel ban, which then gets the Wizarding government's upset. And it's basically him trying to track down Credence because they know that he can be contained and fixed, and they're trying to figure out who Credence is. And that's really what the whole movie's about. It's not about Grindelwald at all. It's really about Credence and who Credence is and like what he is and all that stuff. And I just find it really, really annoying that they didn't focus on it a little bit more than they did. Because they were like, okay, well, we need to focus on Grindelwald because he's the big bad of the 5-part saga. But like, I feel like if we took some time and we really established our other characters that aren't Grindelwald, it could be a lot better. And while I did appreciate the time that they spent looking into Credence and like who he is and who he was and all that kind of stuff, was nice, but I don't quite think they gave us enough. And I think in particular, I'm upset about who Credence is. And I'm not going to talk about it because it's a spoiler, but I didn't like it. I hated it when it was in theaters. I watched this in theaters. It was like the most upsetting movie I've ever seen in my life. And I was only 17 at the time. It was so bad. I did not enjoy that movie at all in theaters. I enjoyed it, I think, a little bit more this time around. This is only the second time I've seen the film. And I think I liked it a little bit more than I did when I first watched it, but not a whole lot more. I appreciated the actual intertwinedness of all the characters, and I think that they were all well done. I think the acting was really, really good, particularly from the guy, I forget his name, but the person who played Newt's brother, I think it was fantastic. And I liked all these characters back and forth. I think that Ezra Miller was a little bit worse in this film, and it just doesn't quite work for me. I don't really know why. I can't explain it. But it just isn't quite as good as he was in the previous film, which really sucks, because I love Ezra Miller like a lot. I think he's fantastic. But I just think that the main issue of the film was trying to force this story into the confines of these 5 movies. They basically were like, okay, here's what we want to do by the end of the film, of the series. How do we get there? And they really made it so that everything was super slow here. And I think it's because they wanted to be a trilogy, which I think I would have appreciated. But then they're like, we can't quite do a trilogy, but we don't want to do a 4-part. It doesn't make any sense. So they're like, let's do a 5-part. And it's like, we don't need 5 movies about this. Another issue with the film is the lack of Fantastic Beasts. There are Fantastic Beasts in this film, and they are mentioned, and they are shown, and like they're fine, but they're not nearly as many, and they don't matter nearly as much as in the first movie. That is a big problem for me, considering it's called Fantastic Beasts. I get they wanted to call it Fantastic Beasts Where to Find Them because it's about Newt Scamander, and they know that he wrote the book from the Harry Potter universe. Cool, I get that. I understand why they wanted to start with that. But at this point, it makes more sense to change the entire title instead of making it Fantastic Beasts 2. It should just be called, you know, Grindelwald or this or whatever, and make it part of a saga, or, you know, I get Harry Potter and the whatever, because that makes sense. It's about Harry Potter, but this is not really about Fantastic Beasts anymore. It's about the giant wizarding war that's about to happen. Which I like that they're going there. I like it a lot. I like that we get some Dumbledore. I like we get some of his, you know, more sexuality kind of things going, because that was a big issue in the book that like no one really talked about, that I appreciated in this one. And I think that the main issue once again is just that they try to drag it out, and it's very slow. It's 2 hours and like 18 minutes, something like that, and it just feels so long and boring. Like nothing happens for a long time, and the ending was pretty cool. I actually really like. I'm not going to spoil anything, of course, but there is a a speech that Grindelwald makes at the end of the film, I really enjoyed. I think it was really great. And with that comes what I think will come in the new movies, which might actually be some interesting character development between some of our good people in the cast. Like, there are some good people who might be bad, there are some bad people who might be good, and we're kind of balancing that pretty well, actually. I was pretty impressed with that, but for the most part, it just felt like a flat movie that didn't really make anybody better, didn't make anybody worse. It just kind of continued where we left off in a mediocre way. And I think this movie had every right to be better than the first one, and it just absolutely was not. So I'm going to go ahead and give Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald a C. If you haven't checked it out, watch it before the next one comes out, which I think it's slated for 2022 now. I think is it November 2022? I don't remember. Google it if you'd like. And we don't have a title for that one yet either. We don't have a title for any of the other ones, so I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm currently not excited about it. I'm obviously going to go see it in theaters, and I'm hoping it's good, and I do have some hope because J.K. Rowling and Steve Kloves are writing the script for that one, so I think it will be better, because I do think that Steve Kloves has a way with words that works really well, much more so than just Rowling, and I really don't think she's good at scripts. So I think it'll be fun to see where it goes, and also I'm really interested to see if it gets better, because this was the least best performing movie of the entire Wizarding universe, and I think it might just be because we're kind of done. Like, we got Harry Potter, we got a couple games out of it. We have the new Xbox game coming out, and it looks really good, actually. It's not just an Xbox game, I just have an Xbox, but I forget what it's called. It's like Wizarding World Harry Potter or something like that. I don't remember, but Hogwarts something. I'm really excited about it. It looks really good. But I feel like we're kind of oversaturated in Harry Potter, and it's just kind of like, okay, we get it. There's more Harry Potter stuff. You want to make more money, I get it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on The Crimes of Grindelwald. Definitely subscribe if you're interested in any movies. I will announce now, I think I announced last week as well, starting next Monday, we are starting the Steven Spielberg series, where I watch every single Steven Spielberg movie so you don't have to, starting with Duel. So I will be watching that next week, and this is the end of the Harry Potter series. This coming weekend, I have Harry Potter Universe movies ranked and Harry Potter books ranked, so if you want to check that out, definitely subscribe and come back this weekend. But until then, I got videos coming out every single day, as always, and thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.